JYD's black copycat replacement, so Junkyard Dog leaves, and then Bill Watts basically continuously has the same idea over and over and over again of bringing in a new top babyface who's black to appeal to the black fans as well as the white fans, I'm sure. I've got a couple. There's one I can't remember the name of. I've not written it down. George Wells. He also went to the WWF, and then he basically was jobbed out really quickly. And then I think he had some terrible drug abuse, I think, and left. Brickhouse Brown, who was never pushed as like a top guy, but he had the boombox, and we talked about him a couple of weeks ago. Butch Reed we'll mention in a minute, but the Snowman is one of the more interesting ones because in
Memphis.
Yes, because Jerry Lawler and who else trained him? I didn't write down who else trained him. Someone else trained him. Around 1984, he appeared in Memphis for a short while. Then he appeared in Mid-South for a short while. Then he just disappeared off the face of the earth. Turned up in USWA in 1990, and he wins the USWA Unified World Title. Do you want to tell us the story about after he wins the belt?
Well, he wins the belt, and the Snowman, which is he's not a Harvard graduate, let me say that, but I think he got kind of miffed or pissed off about his payoff. He didn't think, I guess he thought the world's champions got paid differently, I guess. But he got his payoff and he didn't like it, and he wanted more money. So he told Lawler he wanted more money, and Lawler says, well, I'm not giving you more money. And he kept on and on and on. Now, Lawler should have thought, wait a minute, the guy's got the belt, so I might need to kind of pacify him a little bit. And then all of a sudden, Lawler didn't give him any money. He took the hard stand. Well, the next thing the Snowman did was he said, well, I'm keeping the belt. And I've had this pulled on me too. I think I may have already told this story. But next thing Lawler knew, the Snowman had gone to a pawn shop, and got a couple $100 or $100 or whatever for the belt, and he wouldn't give it back. So did Lawler ever get that belt back?
I think it may be missing forever. Put in the comments, tell us where that belt might be. But that's the first time the USWA title would go walkabout. Not the last, as we've discussed on previous podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
But no, right, so the Snowman, Eddie Crawford, his real name was. He died a couple of years ago as well, I didn't realise. He said that he never actually pawned it. He threatened to, or basically gave a line to whoever it was, Jerry Jarrett, or whoever it was, saying, I'm going to take this and pawn it to a drug dealer or something like that. But I actually don't think anyone quite knows the actual whereabouts of where that belt went. Maybe one person does who bought it, who knows?
Well, that's why I say I don't know why Lawler or Jerry Jarrett, and I like both those guys, I don't know why they just said, okay, why didn't they try to pacify him at the time? I don't think they thought far enough ahead. No, he won't do that. He won't do that. He won't do that. Well, he did do that, and the belt's missing. Now they got to go and get another belt, which I think they did. That was the original, right?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what the other belt was. Apparently, it was the AWA, or a version of the AWA title that Lawler won, and then they had to sort of repurpose that. I don't know if they put stickers on it or something, just USWA over the A or something. But yeah,
I had that belt. I cannot remember what it looks like.
Oh, do you
I never
find
took
a photo?
any. Yeah,
I'll find it. I'll find it later. Do you remember Leon Spinks at this time coming in to referee one of the Jerry Lawler Snowman matches?
I think that was one of the times I would come into Memphis, stay a month, and take off again.
Mm.
I don't remember Spinks coming in.
That's fine. With Snowman, we sort of launched into the story rather than the person, but you said probably not a Harvard graduate, but Snowman stories in general. Were you in Mid-South at the same time as him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was he being pushed as the new Junkyard Dog at that time? Was he a level below? Or
yes. Every African American black guy. They were looking for a replacement. But you just don't replace junkyard dogs every day. That's a certain type of individual that had the magic, that had the chemistry, that had the touch, that the people accepted him. You just don't go down the street and say, just say, hey, come here and put these tights on. We're going to take you out there and you're going to be the new junkyard dog. Don't work like that, as they found out. Mm-hmm. But they tried, who was the first guy? George what was his name? George Wells?
Yeah, there was George Wells. There was Butch Reed. There was
Butch Reed.
Brickhouse Brown.
Brickyard.
There was one other guy, I can't remember his name, who they tried. Maybe in UWF, where just before they closed in 87 or something. Can't remember him.
Well, it didn't work. The closest one it may have worked with would be Butch.
Yeah.
It may have worked with him because he was over to a certain degree. And they tried it with Brickhouse. That bombed. And I was the designated, let me tell you my place in Louisiana wrestling history. After the dog, because I carry a bullwhip, and a bullwhip is a sign of slavery. Mm-hmm. I call myself the designated Afro-American wrestler. Because every time I go out there and take that bullwhip, and a lot of these towns, demographically, were like 80% black, especially in Mississippi, southern Mississippi. And when I'd walk out there with that whip, brother, silence. They didn't say, oh, we're going to kill you. We're going to. They didn't say nothing. They just looked at me like this, like, which is unnerving. Now you don't know what they're going to do. So I would get in the ring and they would get with the match. And then at the end, of course, I would pull the bullwhip off like I was going to whip the black guy. Mm. Oh, my God. That pissed. And then, of course, guess what? The black guy got to whip off me. They went nuts. And we'd hit me one time, pow, because it wouldn't be cracking. He'd just be hitting me with it. And I'm saying, pow, pow. They're going crazy, pow, pow. And then I'd run away. Oh, well, they love that. And I always made sure in front of those crowds, I never went too far. Because you don't know what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. I don't know.